The Lincoln Spring Sales event is on now, and there's never been a better time to experience the feeling of driving a Lincoln. Pictures, sunlight through the available panoramic vista roof, music, weather, and maps on the 48-inch panoramic display, and a drive so smooth that inspiration rides up front. Stepping out better than you got in. That's the Lincoln feeling. Get behind the wheel of the 2026 Lincoln Nautilus SUV and discover exceptional offers only at your local Lincoln retailer.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Welcome, my friends. Hour number duo underway. James Golden, boasting early here with you. It is the Saturday morning extravaganza, your Saturday morning vibe. 800-848-9222 is how you reach us. We will get to phone calls as quickly as possible in this hour. People are still holding and want to talk. I want to introduce in this segment some other things that we should or can discuss, along with everything else we have been discussing. This was tax week in America. Many of you have ponied up and figured out what you owe to the federal government or what is coming back to you. I just want to play a few things to get two things that we can get started on that. Number one, cut 17, Matt. This is just the Florida waitress. This is happening in many locations around this country. A Florida waitress interviewed on, of all places, PMS Now.
It's made a very big difference in my life. I've added a lot of money for me. I was able to send my grandson some money. I get to live my life a little easier. I can eat better. Life is just so much more better because I have extra money in my pocket at the end of the day.
That is because of the big, beautiful bill that was passed and the no tax on tips. You have Democrat governors, like I understand Spanberger is now refusing to allow people to take deductions on their no tax on tips, et cetera, et cetera. So you have the no tax on tips. There was a congressman, I played his soundbite during the week, who one of his constituents got a $12,000 refund. They work for tips, the couple, and it is making a dramatic difference in the lives of people. Now, you're not going to hear it widely reported, but it is. And then you have Democrats like this guy that's running on the Democrat side for the Texas Senate, who continues to say that only the rich are benefiting from it. But the evidence is in people's pockets, number one. And then you have Philadelphia. Philadelphia is talking about imposing a new rideshare tax on people in Philadelphia. Their mayor, Shirley Parker, was angry because people are actually criticizing her ideas for taxing them in Philadelphia. Cut 6, Matt. This is Philadelphia Mayor Parker reacting to people criticizing her plans to impose even more taxes on them.
How dare you tell me, as mayor of this city, to tell the people in this city that we cannot and should not enact what is one of the most limited powers that we have, and that is to decide how we will drive revenue to the school district of Philadelphia.
How dare you criticize me? How dare you criticize us for wanting to tax people more? You have Mondami and Hochul in New York planning more taxes and implementing more taxes on the wealthy, they say. By the way, this mayor in Philadelphia, let's just take a brief back. Last year, at an Eagles game, Cut 7 leading the chant for the Philadelphia Eagles.
E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles! Let's words.
Play that just one more time, please.
E-L-G-S, egos.
E-L-G-S-E-S, L-G-S-E-S. The mayor can't even spell eagles, leading the chant. But yet she gets mad at her constituents, mad at people opposed to her raising taxes. How dare you tell me not to raise your damn taxes? Okay. There is another one. Let's briefly go through this. Cut 11. Last year, this time, we were talking about Kilmar Albrego Garcia. Chris Van Hollen goes down to El Salvador to sit with the guy, have sips of margaritas or whatever they were drinking with him. And it's been a year. He was on MS Now gloating over his trip. Cut 11.
Well, Chris, you're right. It will be 1 year ago tomorrow that I met with Kilmar Abrego Garcia in El Salvador, and I was able to call his wife Jennifer and tell her he was still alive, because nobody had had any communication with him, not his mother, not his lawyer. And when I came back, of course, the Trump administration was furious, and the president himself, said this was outrageous. I will say there were even some pundits among Democrats who were sniping from the sidelines. But I do think that the lesson 1 year later is that standing up to Donald Trump has made a big difference.
Really? Okay. Proud of it. The Democrats will put illegal immigration and legal immigrants above everybody else. That is the big difference. Okay. Let's go a little quick visit into the Swalwell case. We all know that Swalwell is who he is, and Democrats are still trying to run away from it. Supposedly, they didn't know anything. Supposedly, they didn't know anything. Cut 22. Pam Brown was speaking with Representative Sam Liccardo, and this is what Liccardo had to say about it. Cut 22.
So last hour, Democratic Congressman Sam Liccardo of California said this about the Swalwell allegations. Let's listen.
I first heard about the rumors when Swalwell announced his run for governor in November, and knew some political consultants who talked about what we call oppo files, these opposition records that political consultants compile, talking about Swalwell's sexual misconduct. At that time, nobody was talking about rape, as we're hearing now. It was not sexual assault, but clearly sexual misconduct, abuse of his position. And there's no question, I think, as Senator Gallego said, rumors about that were going on for many, many years.
What had you heard, Secretary?
I think many of us had heard the rumors as well. Never seen any corroboration, but certainly I think the word had gone out.
They knew, folks. And you can't tell me Hakeem Jeffries was asked about it. He pretends, we didn't know anything. The first thing I heard about it was the San Francisco Chronicle. You're in political leadership, and you're going to tell us you didn't know? You didn't know. I had talked about taxes earlier. In Warren County, Virginia, there is a proposed property tax of 21% on people's property. A town meeting in Warren County, Virginia. This is being echoed in many Democrat quarters all around the country, where this incessant drive to keep raising taxes beyond belief is just, this is what they do. They never talk about cutting. They never talk about cutting their spending appetites. They never talk about actually living within their means. What they talk about, let's just keep soaking the taxpayers. This is a citizen. I don't know this guy's name. Cut 31. Don't know who he is. But listen, and by the way, there were tons of people at this meeting. I just picked one of them because we couldn't play them all. There's one citizen that I just thought was so poignant, but many of them were. Elderly people talked about being driven from their homes. You'd have to sell their homes if this tax increase goes through. Listen to this guy, citizen of Warren County, Virginia, on the 21% property tax increase that liberals in Warren County, Virginia, trying to impose on their residents.
David Jenkins, North River District. I don't want to belabor the point that so many people have already made, but I married, have 2 kids, one on the way. I pay my taxes. I tithe the church. I work 6 days a week. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I got like 75 cents in my bank account right now because that's just what life requires sometimes. I don't have extras. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I know for a fact the house we live in now, I think it's a little too small for a 3rd kid on the way. And I like Front Royal. It is a breath of fresh air. I love the mountains. I grew up here, and I really do appreciate Front Royal. But there's no way that the house we live in can be sold for the amount that it's assessed for now. Even before the new tax hike, it would be impossible. If I can't sell a house for the amount it's appraised for, I don't know why I should get taxed for it, for sure. We need a bigger house for a 3rd kid. I pray. I know God always provides, and that's who we're leaning on the most. But I'm 39 years old. I do everything I can. Just please consider that. I think that's really all I have to say. Thanks.
People are being driven out of their homes and put in despair by these high taxes that liberals continue to just demand. And then you have mayors like this woman in Philadelphia who gets angry at people that actually criticize being forced to pay higher taxes. It's just amazing, folks.